for Pitts. Intercepted by Ray Hubble, who may go all the way again. He's going to be cut off near the sideline. He was tripped by a man standing in front of the Winnipeg bench.
First down, Edmonton with the football. McManus going up top for Eddie Brown. What a catch! Eddie Brown! Touchdown, Edmonton! Penalty markers down all over the field.
Illegal substitution, too many men on the field, Saskatchewan.
From 33 yards out to win the 97th Grey Cup. Ball down, ball through.
What is up, CFL football fans? This is another episode of the Football A podcast. It's your boys. It's Hop, it's Ant, and as you'll see in the screen at the bottom there, it is a special. I mean, some would say a number one type guest here on the Football A podcast. This is Joel Dublanko. He just went first overall in the CFL draft on Tuesday. What a whirlwind of a week, Joel. What's it been like?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Just kind of running around, so much love and support from all this, and it's been really cool. And I can't imagine it going, any better. This has been a truly blessing, and I don't know any other word to describe it. The Lord has been so generous and shown so much grace to me, and there's been a lot of hard work to this moment. But it's nice. It's real nice to get a little bit of, I guess, flowers for your hard work. But in a couple of days, it's going to be nothing, and we're going to put the pads on, and we're going to start practicing. And so it doesn't mean a lot for long. So excited to go out there and just play at this point,
I love that, the ready to work attitude. I know I'm ready to go through a brick wall, but something I got to address first is you got the Elks hat on. The shirt I saw is Elks 2 right there.
Absolutely.
Look, I love the merch. I love repping your teams. I'm always doing it too, but I got to talk about it, the draft first, the table. There's an Edmonton Elks table right in front of you in the draft room. Can we talk about, I mean, is that just, I know kind of the family's from there and has an allegiance to Edmonton, but the table, was that already there? Maybe did you know ahead of time? What was with the table in front of you on draft night?
Oh, well, so they flew me up to Edmonton. So I was at the facility.
I had no clue.
So so we had our draft party in the owner's office.
Wow.
And so we're all there, and that's why it was decked out, and we were all decked out in Elks gear already. There's a lot of us already in the Elks gear. So kind of new, a little earlier than everybody else. It was cool that I was able to stay a surprise. But yeah, it was funny. Somebody that came, we ran into somebody going through airport security, and met one of my girlfriend's dad. He was coming, and he knew him. He's like, Jim, like, heard you going to Edmonton. He's like, what? And then he's like, yeah, Joel's going number one overall. He's like 10 people back in the security line. He's like, what the heck? Like, literally, like, seeming like some random guy just came up, like he knew him, but it was like such a random thing. It's like, oh my gosh, like no way we're able to keep it. Like, did we tell way too many people or what? I just told some family down here. So, but it all ended up working out, and it was pretty funny that happened. We were telling some of the media guys, and so, but they were really excited with how it was able to be kept, tight to the lips and everything like that. But
absolutely. Was it hard for Dad? I know Dad was, he was sitting right there. It was pretty clear. He was pretty pumped up. Oh yeah.
He was really excited, and it was really special having him and my brother, and even my grandma. My grandma's, first game she ever had.
Yeah.
First game she went to, first date with my grandpa was to Edmonton Eskimos game. And so, wow. Yeah, it was really cool. So it was really just a full circle moment, man.
Really
feels like I'm going home, and somewhere that I visited growing up, and I was even able to stop by the Edmonton Mall again, and I remember that place was like the coolest thing ever as a kid. Being able to go there and whatnot. So
I love that. That's a real blessing, like you said. That's
absolutely,
cool. It really comes full circle.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we want to dive into your college a little bit. Obviously, a lot of work to get here, like you said. So, like at Cincinnati, when you first started there, you guys, to be honest, weren't that great in defense. I think you guys were like 94th your freshman year, something like that. And then your senior year, you guys were top 5 defense. Can you talk a little bit about like your role in that? What you brought to the table to kind of help that defense flip on its head, really?
For sure. I mean, I think from that first year onward, we ended up getting Luke Fickle as our head coach, and that really just turned the program around. He's the man, and each year we just got better and better, and was just laying the groundwork. And I think the program is also a testament to myself. Like I felt so good and like confident by the time we were at the college football playoffs and like who we were and like what we were doing, that like because we really built it from the ground up, and like I felt like we were forged through like the forging process. Like when you forge metal, you like melt it down, you take out all the impurities, and then you bang on it, you like let it solidify. You're like, all right, what is this? And then you melt it back down. You're like, oh, we need it back. You know what I mean? So you melt it back down, take out the impurities. What we got here? And it's like that process over and over until we're like a sharp sword, And so we just kept doing that over and over, and we laid the foundations and we did it the right way. We developed our guys, and I was one of those guys that were developed. My first year at Fick was probably like it was probably they were thinking of even like cutting me in the spring. So yeah, and but I just kept getting better and better, and I think that's a testament to who I am as a player and a person. I'm gonna keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm gonna keep getting better and better because of how hard I work. And each year, I started off as a special teams guy, and was really involved there, and then I just kept getting better and better, and then the opportunity came up for me to start, and it was my last 2 years. My redshirt senior year was the first year I started. And then COVID happened, and so I got a +1 year, which was a huge blessing.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to interview a few athletes and a few football players to this point, and a lot of those guys, preach hard work, and it's not lost on me the work it takes as a like former almost D3 pitcher out of high school. Like I understand seeing the work it takes, and I will say, like talking just now about your process, it's the genuine way it just came off is extremely impressive. Now that doesn't mean a lot coming from me, who's a lazy person, but hard work looks very, hard compared to what I do. So I want you to know that the genuineness I can tell in your voice is pretty special. So I'm excited, and I would like to ask about Fick, because actually the three of us, you, me, and Ant, he's kind of our common bond. I'm a Wisconsin,
Really?
I'm a Badger fan. I'm from the
Okay.
Madison area.
There you go.
Ant, despite the West Virginia flag in his background, he's an Ohio State fan. And then obviously he was your coach. I mean, can you talk about Fick a little bit? I mean, first year in Madison didn't quite go the way I would have personally liked
Sure.
as a fan, but how awesome as a coach is he? And what can I expect from him coming into year 2?
Yeah, no, I mean, even his first year at Cincinnati, he struggled, and I think every place is different, And one thing that he does so well is he's got an ear to the team to where he can really get some truthful and honest feedback and kind of know where the guys are at, and kind of change his game plan based off where he's at and where he's at with everybody. And so, I have all the confidence in the world that he'll be able to turn the thing around. And one thing that, is so amazing about Fick compared to, other coaches, a lot of them preach, one thing but do another. He is the exact person that, he preaches everybody else to be. And so, as a player, that just gives you so much more confidence and that you can go fight for a guy that's like that. That's a tough nosed guy, and yeah. So he's the best. And I really feel like, that as he continues to put time into a program, nothing's going to stop him from continuing to develop those guys and build something that we had at Cincinnati. Like, he was the driver of that whole thing, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
it was really awesome. And, even Coach Collins, the strength coach, and the whole strength staff, and a lot of the guys that Fick brought up, and Coach Tress, they're all amazing. So, yeah, I have all confidence in the world that he's going to be able to have success and be successful in any place he's at. And obviously Wisconsin's a great place, and historically has been really good. And so it's only a matter of time. He's got a lot more money at his disposal to do more things than he would have been able to do at Cincinnati. And so I think, time's a ticking. And I think he's one of the best coaches in college football.
Oh, fire me up, Joel. We need to get you in Madison. We need to get you in front of the team now, too.
No doubt. Well,
preach that hard work.
Every time me and Fick, go back and forth on the phone or text or whatever, he's always like, need you up here in Madison, He's like, you got open invitation, come whenever you want. So, I'm not gonna say
Joel. I mean, now you have another reason.
It's not like it's along the way to something, though.
I mean, it could be. I mean, you're from Florida. It could be. We could get you.
I'm from Washington, dog.
Okay, fine. You played your senior year in Florida. I mean,
yeah, I did.
we can look. I'll find something. Don't you worry. I'll find something.
It's like, I found this bus for you, dude. You just hop on it,
Look, the ticket. I'll cover the ticket. Okay,
sure.
You got 11 hours or so from Edmonton, but it'll be fine. It's fine.
Right.
Love that. We got one more Cincinnati question. I promise that's the last one. What can you just talk a little bit about how special it was being on that playoff team? Like, obviously, only group of 5 team to make the 4-team playoff. That'll be a team that literally gets remembered for the rest of college football history. The only team to do that. How special is that to know that we're on a team that will be remembered forever?
Yeah, no, it was something that I'll forever be proud of, and it was such an amazing experience, and give all the glory to God that think about, that group of guys that we were able to put together, and how many draft picks we had coming out of it, and we were really loaded, like actually loaded. We had studs everywhere, and it was such a pleasure to be a part of, and even like through a season where it seemed like a constant, there's adversity, and but we just overcame it all, and it was just so nice. Kind of speaking of what I talked about earlier, just feeling so good about what you guys, like what we put together, because of we just did it the right way. And then it kind of made me like look at other teams that had all these high recruits and everything like that, and they weren't doing good at all. I'm like, man, your guys as coaches must suck. You know what I mean? You guys got no culture over there. Got no culture over there, and you guys must not be close at all, because like a real brotherhood, because every game we went, it was like our brotherhood versus theirs. It wasn't about a call for us. It was about whooping the dude's butt in front of you, and and then let the chips fall where they may. But we weren't over worried about being in the perfect cover 2 call or this or that. We just went and played ball, and we did it. We just did it better than other people. And so we played with each other for so long. Me and my other linebacker that I play with, we'd do things and we wouldn't even talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To where a coach would yell at another kid for not talking about it. But we just been playing for so long, we just didn't even have to talk about like a switch or communicating that. And we were just in sync. And I think that's a testament to the whole defense. we were all just in sync. We had so many reps together, and being able to have guys come back, and we were all just free and able to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, playing fast and physical.
Yeah, I mean that, like you mentioned that team. I mean, there's like so many names. Obviously, Sauce being like probably the top of that list as far as that defense. I mean, that year there was like 6 draft picks from that
Yeah,
defense, or
yeah.
something like that. And then you like, you add on yourself for that team. I mean, you had like, I think it was like 11 TFLs and like 4.5 sacks or something that year. Like like a huge part of that team that like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, is just like talked like Ant said, just the history of that team. Like when you go and look at the numbers, that defense was just utterly ridiculous at the end of the day. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
just
Thank you.
it's so cool. Let's move on to the CFL stuff.
Yeah.
In Edmonton, our last episode we just put out, we talked a little bit about the off season, and there's I don't know if you want to call it a quarterback controversy in Edmonton, but knowing your history, and your background and kind of what Edmonton and the Elks mean to your family's history, are there's been a lot of celebration, like we mentioned here, in these last couple days for you, and you're ready to work hard. But is there any awkward feelings maybe about coming into a kind of a quarterback controversy, if you will, or are you just your head down guy? I feel like that's the answer. I feel like I answered my own question, but
I think you did. No, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm worried about the defensive side of the ball and making sure that we're good. And I don't know, how the quarterback thing is going to shake out. But all I know is from the defense side of the ball, and I got to meet all these guys too. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
what my heart is and what I want the defense to give the offense such a hard time during practice that it's easy for them during the games. You know what I mean? And that was at Cincinnati. We would beat up on the offense constantly. We would have to do 2-minute drill 7-on-7 because we would constantly get sacks over and over. We'd ruin the 2-minute drill.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it sounds like we got some freaking dogs up front, on defense, and so, and a lot of really good guys on the back end. So I'm just excited for the swing at this thing this year. I'm excited to start learning the defense more, and getting access to all the film so I can start looking over it and studying it. And I should be back up in Edmonton on Saturday. So really looking forward to getting up there a little bit early so I can be around the guys and start sharpening Coach Shives' ear a little bit more about maybe sending me on a couple more blitzes and whatnot. So we're going to have fun this year. We're going to fly around, and it seems like that's what he wants. He wants people to play fast. We're going to be simple but decisive, and we're going to disguise some things, but we're going to fly around. That's his main thing. We're going to make some plays, and we're going to bring back that winning tradition and winning pride back to Edmonton Elks football.
Oh, chills down the spine. Not even in a sarcastic way either, in a very literal sense there.
That's awesome. So obviously you're big. You clearly are a big team guy. We can all see that. Do you have any personal goals for this year? Is there anything you want out of this year for yourself other than just the team goals that you're clearly striving?
I want a Grey Cup.
Heck yeah.
Oh, I mean, let's just look. I'll put it this way, okay? I occasionally I'll put dollars and cents on, hypothetically speaking, I'll put dollars and cents on football games, no matter if they're in America, if they're in Canada, occasionally, hypothetically. And yeah, look, I'm not a financial advisor, but Edmonton to win the Grey Cup, that's kind of what I basically just heard.
Right. Well, there's a lot of work that goes into that, and we're gonna have to work really hard to take a good swing at it. And I'm excited for camp, because camp is where you learn who you are and get to lay the groundwork for the season. That's where your main body of work lies, and you kind of keep pulling back to it, throughout the year in different clips and everything like that, going back to the film. And so, yeah, really excited. And yeah, I just want to win. And that's all I care about. All the individual accolades will come afterwards. And, do I wake up and see got a picture of a Grey Cup pinned up against my wall? No, but and it's not something you talk about all the time. You know what I mean? Because if you talk about it all the time, then you're not really working for it. So it's a daily grind. You know what I mean? At Cincinnati, we had our goals. We wanted to win championships and stuff like that. But control what you can control, and that's how you wake up every morning and get out and handle your work and handle your business, and make sure you're putting your best foot forward every day, and trying to get better in any aspect. Attack your weaknesses each and every day, and grow that locker room together, because that's I think people overlook how important that is.
Oh man, I mean,
if it's any consolation, I will say we had one player on the pod during last season, and he won the Grey Cup.
There you go. Listen, you guys are.
If the streak holds,
no, this is going to be good. I got a good feeling about this. I think that's just a good omen for sure that we're destined for it.
I love that.
So.
Yeah. I love that. So I do want to follow up. You mentioned watching the film, and obviously, your grandparents' first date at an Edmonton Elks game. So has the CFL been something as you've played through American high school and obviously American college football? Is that something you've kept up with, or are you at least a little bit familiar with the defensive schemes, or is this going to be a learning curve for you?
I think it's going to be, I had a cousin, well, still have a cousin, but he played in the CFL. His name is Dublanko, and I played with him, or no, I went and saw him when I was 12, and when he played the BC Lions. And so it was really cool to be able to see that and see the different style of football, see the bigger field and everything like that. And I remember looking at the end zone like, this is wild,
Yeah.
But since then, I wouldn't say I've really watched a ton of CFL football. So there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. At the end of the day, football's football, but there is definitely a lot of differences that I'm looking forward to learn about, what's really different about it.
Well,
I think how it affects the game.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you in our back pocket, so to speak, because we started this podcast on a whim. As we learned last year, we're just like, what if we just start watching the CFL in week 18 of 22 or whatever last year? Yeah, 21 into the playoffs. So we have like 6 weeks of experience. So we have a lot of schematic questions. Let's just say that now that we have you in our back pocket, I think we might learn some things.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to be able to get to the point where I can ask them or answer them. Ask them and answer them. I can't even ask them yet.
Yeah, I can't wait till I have like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia meme where it's just he's like got the sweat pouring and he's got everything on the whiteboard. That's gonna be me at one point.
No.
I hope, and then you're just gonna give me a simple answer. But do you have I'm trying to think how to word this, because you're clearly so I don't want to say media trained, but you seem pretty familiar at this point. I mean, is there anything that this current season, besides maybe the schematics, is going to challenge you? I know we talked Caleb Evans, who we talked to last year. We always like to ask about kind of the culture shocks. I mean, he's from Louisiana. You're from the PNW, and obviously spent some time down in the deep South there in Florida in high school. But is there anything culturally that you're ready to experience or a little nervous about?
I'm not sure. I mean, I do know the area a little bit more just because I visited growing up with family. And so, not that I remember a ton, but there's more excitement in terms of being in the culture rather than feeling like I got plucked out of somewhere and put into a random place. You know what I mean? It's as we're driving down the roads in the Ubers, my grandma's like, "Oh, I live down that road." You know what I mean? That was our apartment building and all this. And so, it's unique because there's a lot of familiarity. Still don't, know entirely, everything about Edmonton and everything like that. But I am really excited to get to know that aspect. And obviously, I think it'd be a lot more culture shock if I was more on the East Coast where they speak a lot more French. But
Yeah.
I just got to get used to a couple of A's and a boats and soy. and I was working on my accent. I was trying to fit in at the hockey game yesterday.
Yes.
I think some of the things I was saying might have outed me, but I'd say what was I saying? I was saying I can't remember. I'm put on the spot right now. But
I love it.
I'd be like, oh yeah, there, bud. Oh yeah, come on, bud.
It's like
on,
Brian Kelly and his LSU his LSU press conference at the beginning.
For sure.
The other side of the continent.
I'm hoping by the time I leave, my sister would come and visit Canada for like a few days, and she'd come back as if she lived there her whole life. I'm like, you are ridiculous. But by the time I leave, I hope that I'll have such a thick Canadian accent that Americans will sound like, hey, you got a weird accent there, bud. So that's my goal, is to completely adopt the Canadian accent, real country Canadian accent too.
Ooh, okay.
I want it thick.
I love that. I love that idea. I got it. So I guess, yeah, I mean, that's a good point about how kind of at least you've kind of had your intro to Canadian culture 101, let's just say. One thing that we've asked some of our guests to this point is your go-to Tim Hortons order. Have you ordered Tim Hortons yet in the few days you've been there, or did you have one growing up, like you mentioned, kind of the Edmonton Mall and such?
No, not growing up and not when I was there, but when I was in the USFL, we were up in Michigan and they have Tim Hortons up there. So I would get a sausage egg breakfast burrito or something like that. And I remember it slapped. It definitely slapped.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Try to go with the high protein options.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, some athletes are built, call it 5'8", maybe 200. Doctors would say a little overweight, I don't know, somebody on this call maybe, and then some are 6'3", 6'4", run like a 4.5 40.
Man, you guys
230 and lean.
You guys more often. You guys just gas me up all the time. This is good.
Look,
if I'm feeling bad about myself, I'll be like, hey, you want to hop on a podcast?
I mean,
hey, you want to have me as another guest?
Dude, we would be more than thrilled for sure. But yeah, I mean, and the tough thing is Ant is a Saskatchewan fan. He picked his team last year.
I'm sorry. Hop's a free agent. Yeah. He can be swayed.
It's really tough because Caleb was gracious with his time last year. He won a Grey Cup. So and then we had Tyrese Beverett, defender last year, All-Star from Montreal on as well, briefly. Yeah. So I mean, like you said, I'm a free agent right now, but I mean, we got a guy. I mean, there's just no. I mean, I'm not going to root against you. Are you kidding me?
That'd be insane, I would say. I feel like we're so close now,
Look, I mean, you're gonna be in Madison soon, probably. I mean, I don't know for what, but I'll get you here.
No, yeah.
No,
at any moment I could pop up and just be in Madison.
Look, I got my people, you got your people. They've talked already once, so to make this happen. But no, dude, I mean, we're obviously so thrilled you could spend some time with us. Do you have I mean, the only other thing we like to ask is, I mean, do you have any questions for us? But I mean, you're about to start your CFL journey. I don't know if you have any questions for us.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty interesting that you guys just kind of decided, hey, we want to start watching the CFL. What made you want to start the podcast about a league that you just started watching? Why the CFL had all leagues?
So, I mean, Ant, do you want to tell the story?
Yeah. So we're in the way we met is we used to write in college. We wrote for this website that's like college kids talking about college sports. And that's how it started. But now we're like best friends. Hop got married last year. We all went up for his wedding.
Congratulations. That's big time.
Thank you.
It was sick. Mm-hmm. But we were just in the group chat and we were we're just like, man, I think it was like a Friday night. We were like, dang, I really wish there was more football on tonight. And we looked and there was CFL. We're like, what if we just, for no reason at all, just got like super into the CFL, just like off the rails into
That's
the CFL.
awesome.
And we just did. And I don't think we missed the game the rest of the year.
That's
No,
so cool.
Pod every week. We learned all the rules over. We tried to learn the rules overnight.
Yeah.
It didn't really work.
Well, you
We
guys
tried.
could probably teach me some of the rules.
Should we teach him? Should we teach him about because I mean, you never know if you might have to run on some special teams. Should we drop?
Oh, I've heard about that.
The drop punt. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
The way
So
the Grey
Doesn't
Cup
just have
ended
to
last year.
It isn't just how like the ball crosses the line or something like that, or
Yeah.
it goes in front of the punter.
yeah, so like it has to. I think it has to be a backward, like lateral, and then they have to just kick it across the line. So you might want to. I don't know what you're. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna pretend to.
Do you have to recover it or no?
Yeah.
You have to bring it out of the end zone.
Wait,
Yeah.
no. What are you? Wait, hold on. What are you? You're talking about something completely. This is
Me?
exactly what was going. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. Fine.
I know I'm tracking with you, Bryce.
Yeah. Okay. So
Andy's,
yeah.
I'm
so
not.
you're like,
I'm not.
Andy's on Mars right now.
I'm
He's over in West
yeah.
Virginia.
I'm off. I'm off.
He's literally
the
in West
wagon.
Virginia right now.
I'm an offensive guy, not a special teams guy.
yeah. I'm not. I mean, come on. I'm a big special teams guy, but special, all right. But yeah, because then they like it's a small punt across the line, and then it's a new set of downs because they recover it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
heard about that.
Yeah.
So
you know
that's
what?
how the Grey Cup was won.
No, the Grey Cup's on the pooch. That's what I was talking about. He's talking
Yeah.
about something else.
They
My
tried
bad.
to like rouge to win basically versus where the drop. I'll text you the clip. I'll message you the clip
Yeah.
of the drop punt, but I also don't know how to schematically defend it. So that's I bet if you go into day one of camp and you're like,
With
look,
this
we
clip,
got
we need an answer to this thing.
yeah, if you're like, we got to defend this thing because it's I know it's coming at some point. I mean, that's hard work. That's dedication, baby.
No doubt.
All right, man. Well, I've rambled and Ant has rambled far too much of your day away. But everybody,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no, I mean we're more than thankful. I mean, I hope you will certainly be on again, folks. This is the 1-1. Nobody before him, everybody else after him. Joel Dublanko. Look, man, it's Elks time. I see how can I not be an Elks guy after this?
That's what I'm saying.
Look, I'll wear. Are you gonna wear 41? Have you announced that yet?
No, I actually think I'll text you.
I mean, I'm gonna need a jersey. Oh, this just got expensive.
So true.
This got expensive in a hurry. But all right, everybody, this has been the 1-1. Joel Dublanko of the Edmonton Elks. He is going to be hitting a quarterback, hitting a running back on a field near you. And it's 2 months away now, baby. Season, it's go time. So thank you so much, Joel.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. You guys are awesome. And I'm excited to see the heights that this podcast is going to keep growing to, man. This is awesome.
Look, man, it's all going to be dependent on how well you play, pretty much. So
I'm
kidding.
Heard you.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Joel.
Yes, thank you.